Just as the Indian auto industry was emerging from its worst slowdown ever, there are fears the semiconductor supply crisis could return. These images of the latest and most potent weapons in the arsenals of China and the US have rattled the world these past 2 days, with the industry dreading the prospect of China throttling the supplies of semiconductors from Taiwan. Last year, Taiwan controlled 63% of the world's semiconductor supplies. South Korea, with companies like Samsung, had 18% of the market, while China had a 7% market share. US and other countries had the remaining 15%. Simply put, the world is dangerously dependent on Taiwan for its chip supplies. The great chip shortage of 2021 startled the industry and the world, which rudely woke up to the fact that their most critical high-tech components were at the mercy of foreign nations. This was what tech major IBM said in a white paper in March 2021. You never want to be in a spot where another nation can control a valuable resource that your nation depends on. The US, wary of the global tilt, passed a mega $280 billion CHIPS Act, which received rare bipartisan support in both houses of the Congress. India, which announced its $10 billion semiconductor policy last December, has only taken some baby steps in the area. The country still imports 100% of its chip supplies.
भारत चिप टेकर से चिप मेकर बनना चाहता है। सेमीकंडक्टर्स का उत्पादन बढ़ाने के लिए भारत में तेजी से निवेश बढ़ रहा है। यानी मेक इन इंडिया की शक्ति और डिजिटल इंडिया की ताकत की डबल डोज भारत में इंडस्ट्री 4.0 को नई ऊंचाई पर ले जाने वाली है।
However, most of India's chip imports are from China and not Taiwan. Ministry of Commerce data shows India imported over $8 billion of digitally integrated circuits alone in 2021-22, of which China accounted for over 50% of supplies, a rise of 106% on year. This was followed by Hong Kong at around 1.85 billion. Singapore took third place, supplying chips worth $547 million, while Taiwan came fourth with supplies worth $470 million. Meanwhile, at least two international consortiums have expressed interest in investing in the semiconductor industry in India, with Karnataka, Gujarat, Maharashtra aggressively wooing the technology. While India may not be in the fab picture at present, one of the big advantages it enjoys is its strength in chip design. Nearly 20% of the world's design engineers are Indians, and most are employed by foreign companies in India. Bureau Report, Business Today Television.
To get an expert view on what the impact, even the smallest one, could be on India and Indian consumers, we have with us Neil Shah of Counterpoint Research.
If something happens with respect to geopolitical tension between China and Taiwan, and TSMC has become more strategic in a sense for China with its semiconductor ambitions, and to protect those, it could seriously affect the overall supply in the industry, because if China makes a move, obviously TSMC relies a lot on equipment and technologies from countries outside of Taiwan, which is US, Japan, Europe, and so forth. So if something happens, it's going to be a big blow for the entire industry, not just India, but entire industry. And to be specific, 80% of the smartphone chipsets right now are actually being manufactured at TSMC. So, which is huge. And when you add PCs and tablets and so forth, which is growing in terms of semiconductor content, even the data storage and cloud, as we have seen with the recent Intel and AMD earnings, everything is shifting towards more on TSMC being one of the big fab for manufacturing those. So India is reliant on semiconductors from chipset perspective. Almost 27 to $30 billion of semiconductors will be imported this year in India, and bulk of it, which are the high value items, are churning out from TSMC.
If you like the video, do like, comment, share and subscribe.